Yanni here with Marine Connection, and in 20 years of doing this, I never thought that I'd be testing out a boat from my home country, which is Finland. But the day has finally come and we are very excited. We've got a lot to show you with this brand new boat from a brand new company, decades of heritage in boat building, and of course Finland being one of the shipbuilding and shipyard capitals in the world. So I'm very excited. We've got a lot to show you on this Quarken 27 T-top model. But first, we're heading offshore and we're gonna have some fun of our own. Join us. So there's a lot to talk about on board the Quarken 27 T-top. And if you want to take an in-depth look at all the features, the specs, all of the storage compartments, I recommend you check out Quarken's video walkthrough on the 27 T-top. They do a fantastic job and really go through all the details. What I'm going to focus on instead is what I really enjoyed about this boat. Now, we've seen over the years, we've seen a lot of import brands make it to the US. And often those are just boats that arrive. But Quarken has gone through the lengths. The boats are NNMA certified. They're doing things right, and I think we're gonna see a lot of these on the water. Why are we seeing import lines, not just from Finland, but other countries? What's happened is domestically, in the last 15 years, we've had center consoles evolve so much from those bare-bone fishing boats to having all those family amenities on them now. And if you look out down here in South Florida, a lot of the center consoles on the market will be family-oriented boats versus fishing dedicated boats. And so as that's happened domestically, internationally, the design, the functionality of boats has changed too, and we're at a crossroads where we're gonna see a lot of import lines make it ashore, and we're very happy to have Quarken here at Marine Connection. So, what I love about this boat, I'm going to focus on the ride and handling first of all. So I could compare this more to a pleasure boat than a center console if I was being very fair, but that wouldn't do it any justice. So I'm going to compare it to the offshore center consoles, which we sell most of, which we put most of on the water, the thousands I've personally ridden. And that, again, shouldn't be a fair comparison because this is not just a purpose-built offshore center console. But when it comes to the ride, this is impressive. Some of the softest landings, you know, I've seen in a boat. Very nimble characteristics. It's still 5,500 pounds. It's 5,500 pounds. We got 27.5 feet, 8.5 feet of beam, and a single 300 on the back. To make that work is impressive. To make it ride as well as it does is just a great job and shows how much has been put into the design and engineering and the testing of the hulls. Again, very soft landings. Now I know it's never gonna look real on video. The optics always make water look calmer than it is. But out there today, we spent about 2 hours offshore, 2 to 3 foot chop, tightly packed. And we were cruising along at 30, 31 miles per hour. Never had to grab for anything, never had to brace yourself. Just a nice riding hull. Planes quickly, no bow rise. Very dry, no spray. I mean, I can't compliment the ride characteristics of the boat enough. Now, design where form meets function. One of the nice things about having this side console design is we get such a wide hardtop on here that goes the width of the boat, and then it is actually a wide setup because you do have that additional support that you really can't get from a traditional center console setup. Of course, small sleeper in there, and I shouldn't call it small because it is very spacious for a boat of this size. And then bow seating, we do have the step-up design here. Now I know I've already said a lot, and I've already said more than the whole country of Finland and its 5.5 million people have all year. But like I said, there is a lot to say about this boat. And bow seating section here, we do have a step up. We have a very wide bow seat. You can fit 3 adults here, maybe 4 children. You get great visibility across the boat, and the same said for the helm. Great visibility. You don't feel as constrained up here. A little bit higher seating, and again, with the ride characteristics, you're never grabbing for anything, so it feels very safe. Like many Nordic products, early on, the Quarken 27 can seem deceptive in being so simple, but it doesn't take much time on the boat to really appreciate all the thought, all the attention to detail, and the construction quality. You really start to understand why things were done the way they were, and how things are so versatile in design. At the transom around the 300, we have a wide U-shaped swim platform. And then in front of it, we have plenty of storage underneath these seats, and then a very convertible sunbed here. And these 2 helm seats do swivel around. Now, the helm seats themselves can look in pictures, and even in person, they can look very narrow, but I will say they are spacious. You are not too constrained, and I do like a tight bolster in cars, but you are not too constrained in there. If you really put it through some rough conditions, they'll hold you securely. And in between, I really enjoy the placement of the vertical handle there. Never needed it, thanks to the ride characteristics of the boat, but it was just a good, solid feeling piece, gave you confidence in the product. And then underneath the seats, we do have a slide-out cooler. Helm-wise, I really like the material selection here. The matte finish is a nice contrast to the gloss acrylic we've seen for years. In there, we do have a single Garmin display on this boat, and a dual setup is available on the 27s. Bow thruster control, all of your accessory switches, of course your digital controls, and helm for your Yamaha 300. And then what you all have been waiting for, and that's a look at the cabin. So what's nice about this head is how open and airy feeling it is down here. And that's thanks to this large headroom, which is possible with the way to design the bow of the boat and the step and the seat there. So you have a large bed, plenty of leg room there. And then off to the side here, we do have a small head with a sink and a removable curtain. Light is let in thanks to some overhead lighting, as well as this curved door, but then also we have some windows off to the side. Definitely fit 2 adults comfortably there. Maybe 2 adults and a child or 2 if needed. But, you know, again, pleasantly surprising how they've worked the cabin and how open they've made it feel on this Quarken 27. So that's a look at the Quarken 27. And the question at the end of the day, the $1 million question is how does this compare with a, say, 27-foot center console hardtop? You know, how does a brand new product to the US, brand new company in Finland, how does it compare to some very well-respected manufacturers? And the only thing I can say there is that I have to speak as a customer and what I would do in the position if I were looking at the market. I've been impressed by everything on this boat so far today. There's 2 things that I wish it had. I wish it had a sauna, because that would just be a cake topper. But joking aside, with the 8.5-foot beam, a little bit narrower water line, it takes a minute to get used to. When people move around, you do feel a little bit of weight distribution underway. But again, just took a minute to get used to, and never once lost confidence in the boat. We were doing 30, 31 miles an hour in that 2 to 3 chop. You know, I do feel in the same conditions on many boats, I would have backed down the speed a little bit, but this was just so easy going. I wasn't even leaning up against the seat. I wasn't sitting down. I was literally standing at the helm, you know, not supporting myself with anything. Again, it felt easy going. Now, if I was in the market looking at maybe a 27-foot center console, hardtop, you know, price-wise, this is going to fall very close to what we can get on the domestic market. But I think where this has the upper edge is going to be the build quality, the ride characteristics, and then this versatility that's really hard to beat. Definitely put it into consideration, and I'd take the time and sea trial this, because the video we've done here today, the pictures you're going to see on this boat, none of it's going to do justice to how impressive this is in person. So this is definitely one of the favorite boats I've taken out in the last few years. I've had a lot of fun, and I think you should experience it too. So get out there, set up a sea trial, get in contact with our sales team, and enjoy these beautiful waters. For Marine Connection, I'm Yanni. Remember, life's better on your boat.